Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning update. What a week it has been once again. Really, really cool. Let me know if you guys can hear me on chat. Just give me a sound is okay check, please. Everything looks good on my end. Stream quality is fantastic, and everything seems to be working. Um, as usual, we're gonna start with a high time frame view, clean chart, just to remind ourselves of where we are, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, every time I switch to this view, I find it hard to believe. Yep, all good. Dan says all good. Very nice. Cool. Alrighty then, let's get going. Let's get going. Sound is good. Sound is good. A lot of people saying sound is good. Nice. Fantastic. Then welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in from all over the world. You can post on chat where you're tuning in from. It's always very nice to see. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months of green on Bitcoin as it stands. Now we're on the 16th of April, middle of the month, and here we are on another green month. How can this be? But that's the way it is. Impulsive, and continues to be impulsive. And we've made fresh new all-time highs this week, which is really, really fantastic and crazy. So what I was expecting, what I was hoping for, was to have a similar thing to what we had here at 38K, close the week above the weekly level, back test it, and then go. But it didn't even come to that. We did close last week above the weekly level. That last weekly level, I think I have it drawn in here. Yeah, let me show you that. This last weekly level did not get back tested, and we just pushed on to new all-time highs. And now, of course, you're probably asking yourself, oh my God, but what's going on right now? We're going to have a look. Don't worry, don't panic. I just wanted to remind you once again of what the macro market structure looks like. We are still undoubtedly bullish and pushing up to new all-time highs. So after this macro range that we had going from here, 45K-ish weekly, to the 59K-ish weekly, which made even a partial decline here on the week of the 22nd of March. We've just been grinding our way up towards that very last resistance. And if we go down to the daily time frame, we will see that this level was pretty massive. This weekly level was really, really massive. And we also had very high volume buildup. The point of control used to be down here, and then it shifted to up here. And I haven't refreshed this. Let's just see if it's changed just for fun. No, it's still there. So the point of control since the beginning of February is still around that 59K. That's why I was really looking forward to a nice back test after breaking or after claiming the weekly, but it's just not happening. The buying interest is getting in the way, and that's the way it is. But you can also see just from this very simply built chart, here's our weekly level. That was resistance for 1, 2, 3, 4 days here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 attempts at it, 12. And on the 13th day that interacted with this candle or with this level after losing it here, we finally broke through. So I suppose it was just a matter of time, and this was a huge battle as well. It was not clear whether we were going to continue to push up or rotate back down to the lows. So this entire period, you could have said, oh yes, I'm expecting a breakout and I'm going to long. You're longing at resistance and at the POC and paying lots of funding for a long that's not going anywhere. So that's why during this time, not on every account, but on several accounts, I was sitting on just at least 1x shorts and collecting funding because there was nothing clear, no clarity, and I wanted more data. And now we have more data. Yeah, we've had this breakout on the 13th, 3 days ago. And now you can see that last daily level, that was the very last resistance for the bears, lines up perfectly with the value area high of this entire thing. Yeah, so that was pretty much the last resistance. We exploded through it. It was during the week. It was with London market already open, so big market participants active, and there was healthy open interest. A lot of shorts got destroyed, of course, but there was also buying power coming in for this breakout. So it was a legit breakout. And I just want to remind you about the stream that Daniel had. Was it this week? No, last week. Last week, yeah, about the breakout trading. And the quick answer was, how do you trade breakouts? You don't. And today we can look at why you don't trade breakouts, or why there is no need to do so, even if it's an all-time high breakout. Yeah. Of course, it changes the strategy of how you trade. If you're trading in a range, then yeah, you short the highs and you long the lows. That's correct. And if you go into all-time high price discovery mode, then of course you're gonna make, or you expect the asset to make new highs, new lows, new highs, new lows, and so on. So this is where you want to get in at the retracements, at the juicy retracements. And then you trail your stops. Basically, you move your stop losses manually up to the next significant, or to the previous significant lows. Maybe 2 lows back. But no financial advice. Do it as you want. And how you take profits is up to you. Some people would like to take profits when we make new highs. That's fine. It's a very personal decision. Or you don't take profits and you just basically, if you assume that the asset is going to continue in price discovery mode, you basically trail your stops to guarantee that if your entry was somewhere down here or here, that all the percentage that you've covered is secured as profit. So if you get stopped down on a massive dump like this, then you've already covered all of this as profit. That's another way to do it, basically. It's up to you. It's very personal. But the strategy does change if we are in a very impulsive upwards move with price discovery mode on. Then it's easier to long than it is to short. That doesn't mean you shouldn't short. Shorts are always to be had, and they are possible, of course. And we're gonna zoom in here a little bit because I think there was a pretty juicy one, and then we can see more of what's going on right now. Just pulling from that new, oops, that's the CCW set, but I want to show that. There we go. So just from that high to that dip that we already had on the 14th, this was a nice rejection of the CC right there. So there are shorts to be had, definitely. You just have to keep in mind that you're going against the big trend. So you should take profits rather quickly instead of waiting for very far away targets. Because you're going against the trend. And now we can kind of jump into what's going on right now. We already had this, the point about why you don't need to rush into breakout trades. So this was the breakout, and you're like, oh my God, what I do? It's just pumping, pumping, pumping. Instead of jumping in during this phase, you patiently wait for exactly this, for a retracement, yeah? Look at that. It retraced. There was no need to long here on the breakout. You could have just waited, yeah, for 1 day, and you already had a dip back to an area that was massive resistance for a very long time, and where it flipped to support. And look at that. You got a fantastic bounce off of that trade. So there was a very nice, at least, scalp long to be had. And you got yourself a 4% bounce off of that. So that's fantastic. Yeah. There's no need to rush into anything. Like right now, you're wondering, oh my God, we just dumped massively. Look at this candle. Well, look at that. London just opened. So now we have the bigger market participants coming in, and New York this afternoon. And then we'll see how they process all of this. But as it stands now, we go back to the daily chart. That's the last daily level of resistance that we were looking at before, and also value area high of this humongous range here. And now we are back testing it as support. Once again, it did not get back tested on that drop 2 days ago, but it did get back tested now. Yeah, we can zoom in. Ooh, okay, missed it by a tiny inch. Maybe it still does get hit. And as it stands right now, these were the last lows. So that's why I've drawn this line here, just to see it exactly on the chart as a possible swing failure pattern. Yeah, that means that if we dip below here, we can touch this daily. We can even go a bit below it and then push back up and close above this. Then we can consider this a swing failure pattern. Yeah. What needs to happen now is for the buying interest to appear, to come in, and for all of this aggressive selling that is now stuck at the lows to get punished and squeezed on the way back up. Yeah, that's kind of the idea on a swing failure pattern. If there is no follow through, if there is no buying, serious buying that shows up here, then all these shorts at the lows will not get punished. And then if price continues to go down, then they're not under pressure. So that's kind of the idea of it. But as it stands right now, we've had a nice or a pretty juicy, let's see, from this little CC, we've had another 4% pullback, but we are at support. And this is a level that was massive resistance for quite a while. So we are just flipping a very simple concept, resistance to support flip. That's what we're doing right now. That's what's going on. So price is going down. Which question do we ask ourselves? Is this a good long or not? And as it stands right now, support holding, we've taken the liquidity of these previous lows. This looks, well, no financial advice. Of course, do whatever you want. But this is, for me personally, a place where I would look at least for a long scalp. And let's jump over to, let's jump over to ExoCharts to have a look at this. It's a bit glitchy today. This candle wasn't there. It's just, it looks like a glitch around the daily open because it's not here. It's the 1 hour time frame, yeah? And the daily open was around here, there. So it's just a glitch. So we need to ignore that for now. So pretend that this strange thing is not there. This is what's going on right now. And as you can see, if we zoom in a little bit, this is the move downwards that we had. This is what the open interest was doing there, down here. This is open interest. That's the volume for the candle. And you could even say that here on this drop, open interest was even rising. Yeah. And you said, oh my goodness, is it the shorts? Is it the shorts? But you can see that the longs are actually already also stepping in. So now we have, you could say, oh, open interest is rising and we're dropping. That means it's a healthy downwards move. We can also see some longs opening. So it's quite a battle right now as it stands. So nothing is decided yet. And we do see that right at the bottom, there's already a 22 million market imbalance exactly at support 61,200. So for me personally, that's not a place where I want to sell. Yeah, surely there's a lot of people getting stopped out too. But even if this was to go down more, this is not where I want to short. Yeah, I want to short at the highs and I want to long at the lows. So even if you say, okay, I don't believe that this is going to be a swing failure pattern, I don't think that this is going to hold a support, fine, that you can have that view. But then what I would expect to see in that case is for this to actually break down, backtest this area once again as resistance, confirm it, and then go down. And then I have a short setup, yeah? I know, okay, this has turned into resistance again, just like it used to be. All of this up here was a deviation, and we're going to go back to lower prices or even to a lower range, and there's no acceptance. And then you could say, okay, my invalidation is going above this level again, or gaining acceptance above it. So that would be an okay idea for a short, but shorting right here at support makes no sense to me. Shorting here, okay, that's acceptable, yeah? Even if it's against the trend, you can say, okay, CC area, find your confluence, that's fine, you can try. Or at least it's a more valid argument and a clear invalidation. Like you could even say, okay, new all-time highs and I'm out of that short. But here as it stands, I don't like the short idea unless, like I said, we push through this level with proper, increasing open interest, a lot of bearish power, backtest the level as a resistance and then continue to go down. And even then, I would be very aware that this is another, the massive POC and weekly level that was not backtested and could still be backtested. So we could go even lower. That's also a possibility. But that's kind of, approach the trades as you want. But that's what we kind of try to teach here or to show you guys here, that it's, if you want to get into a long, then wait for that dip. There's no need to long the breakout and rush into it. Yeah, you can wait for a nice retracement, wait for the retracements. And if you want to short, then also wait for the retracements. Instead of panic selling at the lows, wait for that retracement if you are convinced that we're in a bearish market structure. Yeah. So very interesting day ahead. Let's see what will happen here. Oh yeah, I wanted to turn on the VWAP just to see. That's the session VWAP and that's the weekly VWAP. So if we do bounce from here, we already know that this is going to be a nice resistance area, at least the dynamic resistance for today around the 62,400 area. Yeah. So if you do take a scalp long, I mean, me personally, I would then take profit here. Definitely. Because for now, it's going to be resistance. If we then claim it and go up, that's fantastic. But as it stands now, then it would be resistance. Let's see. Now I just want to turn this off so we can have more space in the thing. So yeah, not sure if this is because of this weird glitch. And I don't think that daily open is actually outside the previous day value area. That's a bit glitchy. I should have checked it before. Whoops, sorry about that. So we opened at 63,316. 63,316. Yeah. So it's in here. So this is, I think this is showing just as glitchy because of this very strange candle here. So no CCV setup as it stands. Okay, let's jump over to the other charts and see what Bitcoin does. We'll give it a little time. Oh yeah, Ethereum. Ethereum has been on a tear. Oh my goodness. Super, super strong. And this one did do the weekly close. The week of the 29th, closed above the weekly level, back tested it to the dollar, and then pushed for new all-time highs. Very, very powerful move. And we can see here that it's also after spending quite a long time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 6th week. So it spent a lot of time at this support area. And now we finally have a reaction off of it. And it's no surprise either that we are finding resistance here, where we have a monthly level and a CC coming together. So it's natural for this asset, for Ethereum now. This is against Bitcoin, so outperforming Bitcoin for the past 3 weeks. Really, really powerful. And yeah, it is retracing now as well. But yeah, it's also in all-time high price discovery mode. So in basically buy the dip mode until structure changes, until market structure changes. That's how we treat that then. Then we can have a look at SPX, which has also been raging, absolutely raging. I mean, not even looking back. Look at this month. 3rd month of green already, and just tearing through everything and pushing for new all-time highs. 1, 2, 3, 4th week also in the green. And today it had a bit of an initial pullback, but it's already recovering. So nothing major there. So that's looking really, really super strong. New York is closed for now. It's going to open this afternoon, but we can already see that everything has been bouncing pretty much. So if we have a look at Apple, that was the support area that it spent some time around, CC plus weekly, and now it's pushed through and has already, and is working on claiming the monthly level here. Amazon had also, yeah, very similar from what we saw last week. We just have the continued push pretty much off of the support levels. I think Nvidia's that, yeah, Nvidia. Look at this. New all-time highs after that very dramatic retracement to CC and weekly level, and filling this mini gap, taking out the stop losses here, the liquidity, and just pushing up an astounding, let's see, from that low to now, 38%. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Ooh, that means I'm gonna need to change my my speed fan then. But yeah, very, very, very nice bounce. Very, very powerful. Really cool. Oh yeah, Airbnb. We can have a look at that. So I have this pitchfork still on there, and we have a retracement that went down to the bottom of the pitchfork here. 786 holding, weekly holding. So at support, as it stands now, at support. Very, very interesting. Maybe it just ranges here for a while. Maybe we get a range between this weekly and that monthly, for example. Are there any fresh? There's another weekly level there. But yeah, we'll just have to see. but interesting asset at support as it stands right now. So the stock market is looking really, really strong, really strong. UK market is now opening and also pushing for 7,000. So this one going up, up and up as well. Let's see what gold is doing. Fantastic. So this is our macro gold view. We had our bounces of the yearly level and CC, and now we hit the 1618 fib time expansion from down here to up here. And after the 618, we had a reaction. After the 121, we had a reaction. And now after the 1618, we are having a reaction as well. So seems like it was the right time for this to happen as well. Next one is 27th of May, the 122. Let's see what happens then. And the next one in the end of August. So should be an interesting summer then. Oh yeah, we didn't look at the dollar. What's the dollar doing? Yeah, didn't even get to that area of resistance that I was maybe thinking it would hit. No. So it's lost its yearly level again after poking through it a little bit and already got rejected, probably even from this big pool I was. Well, there you go. I thought maybe it would go a little bit higher, but it didn't even make it that far. So if we compare the four of them, we see gold is doing very nicely. SPX is raging like crazy. Bitcoin has also made new all-time highs. Now it's retracing locally, you could say. But as you can see on this chart as well, that was the last massive level of resistance we had been fighting against. And now as it stands, it's being backtested as support. So going back to Bitcoin then to summarize it all, you have to ask yourselves, are the shorts or are the sellers doing a good job at taking these lows? Yeah, we've had a nice downward impulse, but what about now? Now we're at support. Now is the moment where if you say, okay, this is bearish, okay, geez, that's an answer. This needs to break down with proper volume, yeah? As it stands right now, we just keep taking stop losses and we have like these little timid touches to the level and immediate bounce backs. So there we go. We have now officially back tested that daily level. My ideal scenario would have been to backtest the weekly, but we just went for new all-time highs instead. But you can see that these touches are, immediately and aggressively bought back. So it doesn't look like it's doing a very fantastic job. Volume is not that powerful. If we just scroll a little bit back, you can see that there's volume, 1 hour of candles that have 1.1 billion in volume. Yeah. So on this drop down, we had 795, 448, 515. Yeah, a lot of selling, aggressive selling, but not really the super duper. Oh, Jesus. So I'm guessing a lot of stop losses are being hit too as well. Let's see. Yeah. But like I said, for me, it's not a nice place to short. I don't want to short here. If this is to break down, then I wanted to see it properly, go below this level, continue this push downwards, back test this as resistance, and then continue downwards. Then it's okay for me. But I'm not shorting here. This is for me. I'm not shorting this support as it stands. No. So we'll see what happens. It's you can, if you are unsure what to do, as always, just wait for more data. There's no need to rush into anything. You can just sit out the situation and wait for more clarity, see what the initial balance, like the first hour of London brings. You can wait for New York to open this afternoon to have even more data. And keep in mind, once again, it's Friday. So we're coming to the end of the trading week. The weekends are low volume settings where a lot of shenanigans happen. And where it's very easy to move price one way or another and just trick you into thinking, oh, this is going to go do this or that. So even if, if we're in a very strong upwards move and making new all-time highs, it's still okay if you don't want to trade to just hedge your accounts with, for example, 1x shorts or at least partly, and just disconnect for the weekend. That's fine too. Of course, if we're in price discovery mode, you can also say, well, we made new all-time highs. I'm expecting new all-time highs. There's no need to hedge myself. That's once again a very personal decision. That depends on how you set up your portfolio and how you want to manage your total risk. Yeah, it's very dependent. I can't answer this question for anyone. Everyone has to make that decision themselves and see how exposed they want to be. But once again, reviewing on the macro structure, let's just turn these off for a second. We have an extremely bullish and impulsive asset as it stands, and that continues to be the case. And the retracements, or basically now we're in a buy the dip mode situation. If this changes and we start making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, then obviously that's over. And if we were to re-enter the range that we've been on for weeks now before, then we trade the range again. If we actually gain acceptance back below this weekly level, for example, then we have to start looking at the same levels we were looking at for the past few weeks. Yeah, and find confluences down here and see what the reactions are at those levels. That's it. And that's the idea with trading it from level to level. So let's see what you guys are up to on the chat. Wow, it's a lot of chat there. Let me pop it out for a second. It's a bit easier to manage than the Vimeo chat, that's for sure. All right. Good morning, good morning. Greetings from Hungary and Estonia, Cyprus, Australia, Frankfurt, Cork, Poland, Bangkok, Thailand, Norway, Poland, Belgium, Tampa, Florida, Holland, Egypt, Dubai, South Africa, Slovenia, Lebanese, Netherlands, Sweden. A lot of longs got wrecked the last couple of massive liquidations. Oh yeah, but this is nothing new, you know. This is how the exchanges made nice, very nice amounts of money liquidating people. But it's not something that just happened now or today. Look at this: all liquidations, all the red dots are longs being liquidated, but also shorts. It's on a daily basis. It's here on the breakout, all these shorts liquidated. It happens constantly. Yeah, that's the name of the game. People over leverage. They want to make a quick buck, and they get destroyed every day, every hour, every day, pretty much. That's how the exchanges make nice money, of course. So that's why you shouldn't do that. Grusas Wiesbaden, Poland saying hello. Why do you swap your daily and weekly horizontal line calls? I don't know. I'm a rebel. I just started doing it like that, and you can pick whichever colors you want. As long as they're the same so that you recognize them visually. Look at that unless they're very bearish looking. Well, I already told you showed you my view. It's up to you how you want to interpret the data, of course. Dogecoin. No, I haven't looked at Dogecoin. I have no idea. I did look at ETH BTC. Please send your BTC to me. Well, the invalidation for in the long from daily. So basically, if you're saying I'm interested in seeing this as a resistance support flip, you can see that people are still, you know, the first longers got stopped out. The people that long here got stopped out again if they put their stop loss there. So you don't necessarily need a stop loss if you can have the luxury of watching the chart and seeing exo charts and seeing what's going on. Basically, what I don't want to see is for us to gain acceptance down here and then test this as resistance again. That's what I don't want to see. So that's my invalidation. Yeah. If we just wick through the level and quickly go back above it, that doesn't really bother me much. Yeah. As you can see, we're still immediately bouncing back up. So that's, for me, the sellers are doing a bad job at taking the lows. They're not doing a good job. They're just very, even though you see the aggressive selling on EXO, it's not really happening. Yeah. So they're doing a bad job. That's why for me, it's not invalidated, this idea. This all time I was need to try. I was preparing for this for days. I missed it. Top of 5 channel. That's still a nice trying to trade though. Well, don't worry about missing a trade because there will be one again and again and again every day. You can't waste any time thinking about trades that you missed. You need to be ready for the next one. So don't worry about it. There's going to be plenty of trades ahead. What is this? Nick, support was lost. No, I don't agree. Support has not been lost and it is not resistance. We are above support as it stands. I think people throw with the short calls on support. Yeah, I think so too. Speedfan 618. Oh, my speed fans. I haven't checked those. Where's my speed fans? This is an old channel. Oh yeah, I had a little nice pitchfork here. Let's see how that's doing. Let's just hide this stuff here. Yeah, that's that little pitchfork there, which has been quite nice. Midline has been very well respected. This little 618 area, the 0.5 area was resistance here. And now we're tapping that midline again. Look at that. The previous dip was on the dollar, right on the midline. And now, 35 minutes. We'll see if this midline becomes resistance and we head for lower, or if it's just another tap and we continue on the upper side. Yeah. So speed fans, pitchforks, all sorts of cool stuff that you can use. So cipher right there. That sounds silly. I don't need that to read the charts. Neither should you. Which coin to short now, mate? Well, that's up to you, man. You short whatever you want. I told you what I'm doing. Buenos días from California, Marbella. And the Grüße aus Karlsruhe. Okay, I think I already... Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you one more thing now that you mentioned XR charts daily level. There's a naked point of control on the daily at 60... What is this? 64,450. Also very interesting. That would be nice if we could clear that, because on the lower side, the next one is at 54. So yeah, oops. This is sorry about that. Kind of hit my microphone there. Hope you can still hear me. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it just hit my microphone really. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, the next one is the old one we had. We've already looked at. So nothing exciting down there, and that's very, very far away. But this one is not that far away. That's maybe something we could hit if we see some more buying coming in. That would be interesting. So that's one I'm keeping in mind as well. Thanks for the education. You're very welcome. Hello back to Canada. Oh, fib time. Yes, I do have a little fib time pool. Good that you keep reminding me of all these cool things. I had this fib time pool from down here, 28th of February, to the high on the 13th, to the low on the 25th of March. Let's put that maybe on the daily. It's a bit easier to see. So we had, after the 2nd of April was this one. We had a reaction there. After the 1-to-1, we had a move up, and 15th was the 1618 for this specific pool, and we're getting a reaction after it as well. So these are very interesting pools. I mean, you can do different pools, of course, and see which one fits best. But then I always find it interesting to see, okay, what happens on these days or the day after? What kind of reaction do we get? I can't know if it's up or down, but obviously there has been an interesting reaction. So it's always good to be aware on these days. Kind of plan your trading a little bit. You're very welcome, guys. And I hope that the update was useful for you. I don't want to keep you for too long. We're already at 36 minutes. So I hope you have a very successful trading day. And if you're unsure, just wait for more data. And yeah, it's okay to sit out the trades. There will always be new trades to take. Okay. So if you have any more questions, we can answer them over on Discord. Have a very, very good day. Have a nice weekend. Don't forget to go outside and get some fresh air and not just stare at the charts all day. Especially on weekends, that's not going to be helpful. Read a book instead or do something else. And yeah, it was great talking to you guys again. And let's see what next week brings. I'm already looking forward to the next update. So have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Adios. Adeo.